Hi, it's Chris at Wannabe Honey Farms, and I just wanted to do an update with you guys. This is 30 days in, well, yeah, 1 month as a beekeeper, and I just wanted to recap. First and foremost, I come out here every day, sit in this chair. It's turned the other way, obviously, but I drink my coffee and I just hang out with the bees and I watch the hives behind me. They're about 25 feet behind me. And I just sit here and I marvel at what they do, watch them come and go, watch them do their little flight patterns and fly off in whatever direction they go in, watch them come back. And I got flowers around me, and my wife's garden is over here off to the side. And mostly I just marvel in what they do. And if at any time, I lose that sense of awe, wonder, and just the fun of watching the bees, I will pack all the stuff up, put it on eBay or Marketplace, and be done with it. When it quits being fun and interesting and starts being a job, I'm done with it. Um, that's one of the reasons I got into beekeeping, because bees just fascinated me, and I never want to lose that fascination. What we've learned so far over a month's time. Oh, let's back up. I was sitting in this chair right here. You can see the bees, they're back on the other side of the fence that far away when I took the shot to the face. It's healing nicely. I'm still very puffy around the eyes. I got stung like right here, but it just really swelled up around my eyes. But I can actually see again. Yesterday was quite the day for looking horrible. Um, I looked like the Phantom of the Opera when I tried to wrap it up in ice. It was absolutely hideous looking. Um, but anyway, yeah. So I had a lot of people comment saying, "Hey, stupid, wear a veil when you're working your bees." Well, I wasn't working the bees. I had already done everything I needed to do, and I went inside for 20 minutes. I made some coffee. I come out here. I sat in this very place, and one of them was still holding a grudge. Granted, when I went in there, the last thing I did was I installed that hardware and I did some drilling and some screwing on the hive, and I'm sure it vibrated a lot and disrupted them. And at that point, I was dressed up in full armor from head to toe, gloves, the whole 9 yards, and yeah, they were pretty riled up. But I thought 20 minutes going inside, then coming out and sitting out here, it did not help that I was wearing a black T-shirt and black shorts, so I probably just looked like a big old bear, and that's how I got stung. I obviously wear protective equipment when I go in and deal with the hives. At bare minimum, a jacket with a veil hood on it. Okay, things I've learned in a month. Um, at first, I was wearing full-on gloves. Well, I take that back. At first, I was in there with nothing, and that's when I brought the nukes home. And I was so excited to get my nukes, and I just started setting up, and I got halfway through it, and I think I took a sting somewhere. And it was then that I realized, God, I forgot to put on even the simplest of head veils. So, with that aside, I always wear at least a jacket with a full-on hood veil. I went down to nitrile gloves, but the bees aren't bothering my hands anymore because, thanks to you and all the great advice that I keep getting over this channel, um, I've learned how to more safely handle the bees without getting them riled up. In fact, with all the stuff that I did yesterday, or excuse me, the day before, all the stuff I did the day before, I never took a sting, not one time. It was all after the fact where I put everything away and I come out here to just sit down and relax. One of them was still holding a grudge. So that was the only sting I took. But with all that being said, I never took a sting. So I'm doing away with the nitrile gloves now, and I'll just go in there barehanded and let the chips fall. They haven't been bothering my hands at all. I've learned that I still move far too carelessly as far as endangering my queen, and I'm going to continue to work on that. This last inspection, I scraped the bottom, and I shouldn't have been doing that without giving more thought to the queen. Um, One thing about beekeeping that I've also learned is that you need to move with great patience and not make snap decisions, and always keep your plan as to what you do and why you're going to do it clear in your head at all times. Um, I'm still working on this, and I don't see an end in sight. I'm still going to do this just because I'm new and I'm still adjusting. Even though I've been at this for 30 days now, that only means that I've made, what, 3 trips into the hives. So I still get in there and I still get caught up in the new guy mentality moment where I get excited and I start seeing things and I start self-doubting, and then I start just overthinking the crap out of things while I'm in the hive. And I know that's horrible to do. I'm being physically calm, but my mind is not calm. And that's something that I really got to work on, and I'll continue to work on as we go. But like, for instance, the last video, if you saw that, I got down there and I was scraping the bottom of the hives. That was just a thought that just popped into my head. I should probably check on that and see how they're doing down there and scrape off any comb that's on the bottom. So I just did it without really giving it the in-depth thought or pre-planning that I should have. Um, a lot of advice that's given me, I try to respond to everything that you guys say to me and let you know that I'm reading your responses, because I really am. A lot of people tell me that I need to attend beekeeping classes um, and get a mentor. I found this to be very, very difficult for myself because I am a beer driver. And as a beer driver, I no longer do local deliveries. I deliver from warehouse to warehouse, and I do that at night. I start work at 5 o'clock, and I work well into the night. And unfortunately, that's when the bee clubs, the bee meetings, and everything takes place. Um, the two groups that are local that I participate in on Facebook is Western Washington Beekeepers and something else. I can't exactly remember the name, but Washington Beekeepers, something like that, but it's not specific to Western Washington. If there's anybody in Western Washington, I live in Federal Way, right between Seattle and Tacoma, that would like to volunteer, an hour of their time maybe, that I could sit down, pick their brain, and show them my hives, please email me at wannabe honey farms, and I'll put that up on this video. Wannabe honey farms at gmail.com. Please email me, and we'll get together. I've got 2 guys right now that through YouTube here, and both of them are incredibly experienced and very, very knowledgeable. Um, but I got 2 main guys that really stay on top of me, and sometimes they are very kind and gentle with their words as to what I'm doing, and other times I kind of get slapped around. It'd be like, "Hey, stupid, what are you doing?" And but for the most part, they're very kind and supporting, and I appreciate them. I would put their names out there, but I did not get their permission to throw their names out here, and I wouldn't do that to someone. Just throw their names out in a public forum like this without their permission. But you guys know who you are. And then I've got a lot of people who regularly comment to me and give me fantastic support. And I'm also getting a lot of new beekeepers that are taking this journey with me, and they're either learning with me as I go, and or they're still patiently waiting for their bees and getting a look at what I'm doing and seeing what they can expect. I'm hoping I can be a good, this is what not to do for the time being, and they can, just like I was when I was watching, trying to learn before I got my bees. I would watch these videos on YouTube, and I would go, "Oh, there's where he made a mistake, there's where he made a mistake, that's what his problem is. I see the queen, he doesn't," that type of thing. And with that being said, going into the prep for all this beekeeping, I found out that I was not nearly as knowledgeable as I thought I was. I thought I came in here and I had my guns loaded up and I was ready for OK Corral. I was not. And it's important that I recognize that, and the most important thing to know is to know what you don't know and know how much you have to learn. And I've totally regressed from thinking I knew everything to, my God, I've got a lot to learn. And thank God you guys keep commenting and telling me that. Um, I guess one thing that it happens occasionally on the comments. Somebody will ask me a question. Well, what's your plan now? Well, what are you going to do about this? Well, I'm putting out this video to ask the questions and get your guys' opinions. What do you think I should be doing now? Because I obviously am bumbling along. And so I would appreciate suggestions more so than questions, because questions, my brain goes into overdrive and I start overthinking things again. If overthinking were an Olympic event, I would hold a gold in all categories. Um, I'm learning patience. Um, Good golly, it's just been an incredible journey so far. I've been preparing for this since last June, and I was ill prepared, and I'm in awe of everything that goes on within that hive. You get in and start seeing what's going on, and it's an entirely different world. If you want to see how communism really works at its rawest and finest, look inside a beehive. If the queen isn't doing her job, they fire her and kill her. If the workers aren't doing their job, they're done. When the drones are no longer needed, they're done. Everybody in the hive works together as one, and if you're not useful, you're dead weight. Yeah, I can appreciate that in the animal world, and I can see where it might be kind of nice to apply in the human world too, in some cases. But anyway, um, people have asked me, well, what are your goals with these hives this year? And I go, I only got two goals. I want to get my populations up, and I want to have two healthy hives. Um, that is going very well. Um, I think more so in spite of me, not because of me right now. And my other goal is just to have the hives survive this winter. Those are my only two goals. I do not expect to pull a bunch of honey out of the hives this year. I think that's an unrealistic expectation. I've got eight medium supers in there that I can put on, but they're all bare comb and have to be drawn out. So I really don't expect too much this year at all in the way of harvesting any honey. Whoop, there's a bee. Yeah, I still shirk a little bit when they fly up to me like that. I totally forgot where I was going with that. Oh, that's one thing that I get accused of. Oh, you're just in this for the honey and stealing the bees' food. No, that's not what I'm about. The other thing is you're trying to be a YouTube star and make money on YouTube. No, that's not what this is about either. If I were trying to do that, I think you'd see higher quality of videos. You'd see me promoting the crap out of this more. And by the way, speaking of promoting, I will subscribe, like, and all that, because I like new subscribers because it means I'm getting a fresh point of view from someone else. I'm getting new beekeepers that are appreciating the comments as you guys teach me. I'm getting the experienced beekeepers getting to share their knowledge with me, and they get to give back what they've learned. One other thing about me, I'm an alcoholic, and I was into the drinks for many, many years, and I'm 8 years sober now. And one thing about alcoholics is once we get dry and sober, and it's part of the AA thing, we give back. We go out and we help other alcoholics. And that's where beekeeping, I'm really seeing that within the community. Beekeepers love to go out and help the new guys, and I appreciate that so much. You guys giving back the knowledge that you learned, and hopefully you don't forget what it was like when you were a new beekeeper, how frustrating it was, how anxious you were, how maybe you had to learn new skills like I am, learning patience. Patience is an extreme thing in the honeybee beekeeping business that I am trying my best to learn. Normally, if you got a problem, you go in, you fix it. I've never been in a world where the best thing that you can do is wait and see what happens. That is such a foreign concept to me. Um, so I thank you guys for giving back the knowledge that you've accumulated. But that's pretty much my first month. What I've taken away from it, and I hope I never lose the awe of the honeybees. Anyway, thanks for you guys for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe, click on the bell. All the input I can get is great. And again, if there's anybody locally near Federal Way, Washington, that is interested in being a mentor to an old broken down beer driver, please email me at wannabehoneyfarms@gmail.com. All right, guys, thanks. Bye.